We tend to measure distance in miles, but the first border of the future isn't geographic, it's a system interface. Take the classic Earth to America migration model. You buy a ticket, endure a 15-hour flight, and cross an ocean. You perceive this as a purely geographic transition. You step off the plane in San Francisco or New York, exhausted. The physical transit is over, but the actual entry hasn't even started. The physics of the flight are separate from the logistics of the border. Everything that happens before the customs desk is just travel. The border system does not care about your journey, and it does not perceive you as a complete human being. To the system, you are an assembly of legible data points: your nationality, your visa status, your biometric fingerprints, and your calculated risk level. The Earthgate operates on a strict three-step logic: identify the incoming signal, classify the risk, and make a decision to open or close the door. Modern systems default to filtering. Approval isn't an invitation, it's a calculated result of how legible you are to the grid. Right now, that physical border is scaling into invisible algorithms. The customs desk is moving into artificial intelligence interfaces. When we look at frontier technology releases from major AI labs, we tend to treat them as new consumer products. Structurally, they are advanced identification and gatekeeping systems. Anthropic's constitutional AI acts as a digital customs agent, evaluating every prompt against strict safety bounds. OpenAI's agents constantly verify your authority, checking permissions before executing tasks. Google's Notebook LM acts as a gatekeeper, forcing queries to align with a locked vault of evidence. These AI models function as active interfaces. They monitor behavior and demand specific protocols before they allow any action to proceed. To function in these high-capability environments, you have to surrender enough variables to become completely legible to the algorithm. The system must know who you are and what you intend to do. Organizations are gaining the structural power to seamlessly filter human participation before any physical or digital action ever occurs. To see exactly where this leads, we can look at a Mars settlement. This operates as an absolute structural pressure test for Earth's existing systems. The physical capacity to hurl millions of pounds of cargo across interplanetary space is actively being built. We are watching the organizational ambition to solve interplanetary transit. But solving the transit problem does not solve the admission problem. Once the spacecraft lands, how does the organization decide who survives in a closed, fragile environment? An Earth passport relies on a name and a nationality. A Mars survival profile shifts entirely to real-time risk scores, oxygen eligibility, and cabin access rights. The Mars interface is absolute. If the system cannot read your contribution or verify your operational status, the airlock simply does not open. Technology accelerates, yet the structural problem of human participation remains identical. Organizations have gained the ability to automate how they identify and admit, or exclude, everyone who touches their systems. As humanity moves into increasingly fragile environments, the ultimate test is not the speed of the vehicle. The test is whether the new system interface will recognize you enough to open the door.